Hey folks, it's Kerry with 401k Dexters here. Might notice something a little different. That last video I posted from the field trial was crazy hair sticking out of the hat and everything. So it had been 6 months since I had a haircut, and I had just gotten tired with it. I was going to try to grow it out longer and see how hippie I could get it, but it just got out of control, and we've got a cruise coming up in May, so I wanted to cut it back down to nothing. You can see my receding hairline and how gray it is shorter, but it just got to bothering me. So yesterday I went out in the garage and found an old um, clipper, the electric razor in there, and I went to town after painting in the house here, and my wife came out and she was shocked from one minute to the next, but it's probably about 10 minutes in between that she saw me, and it was quite the surprise for her. But as I mentioned, we've been in the house painting. I started on the front of the house, came down the hall into the bathroom, then out into the living room. I've mentioned before that we are downsizing the house in retirement, and to get there, we've got to get the current house ready to put on the market this summer. So that means going around the entire inside of the house, downstairs at least, and painting that, touching up some, cracks in the drywall, and putting in some screws where the metal corners have come away from the drywall. But overall maintenance, and then we'll move outside, paint the outside of the house, and put it on the market sometime this summer. So we're getting close to that. You might see some paint on my glasses or on my hair or on my hands, but yeah, I've got plenty of time in retirement to do those kinds of things. So I wanted to sit down today and throw out 5 considerations prior to retirement. And these things are things that I did, and might want to put it out there for consideration of you on the pre-retirement side, just as a second reminder. A lot of guys post about this, but I think the more you hear it and the more you are encouraged to do these types of things, the more you might put it on your checklist of things that you want to do before retirement. First and foremost is don't try to do it alone. Make sure that you consult a financial advisor. Get a professional opinion. These guys might charge fees, or they might take a look at your portfolio for free with the possibility of you transferring funds to their management. But either way, have somebody with a professional mindset and guidance and experience take a look at your plan, give you feedback on what things you've done up to that point and what things you might tweak and change moving forward. I know I've mentioned it before, but I'll mention it again. We went with Jazz Wealth Management. Dustin and Eric over there are great guys. They're very teaching advisors. They want to educate their clients, not just do all the work for them. They want them to understand how their dollars are working for them. So I would recommend those guys. Feel free to tell them that you heard from me, and won't get you anything out of it, but it's nice to have referrals for a financial advisor as opposed to just looking them up yourselves. When they look at your plan, number 2, they will stress test your plan. You have the ability to do that on your own through multiple software packages out there, but these packages will run Monte Carlo analyses on your plan. It will look at past returns and project out future returns, different scenarios that will tell you your percentage of chance of retirement success. I know we keep our 401k at the Fidelity. Fidelity has a built-in tool. It's not quite as robust as some of the other tools that are out there, but it does give you a confidence level in your ability to retire successfully. Also, as a client of Jazz Wealth, they've got a built-in tool that allows you to do those Monte Carlo simulations, adjust almost everything in your plan that you can to tell what your outcome would be, whether you're taking Social Security early or later, whether you've got pension income, whether you've got different types of assets and income coming in, whether that's real estate or, like I mentioned, pensions or inheritance or the selling of property or real estate. You can add all those things into your plan, and it will kick back and add to that confidence number that they provide. Another thing that Linda and I started long before we retired was documenting a budget. I've encouraged people that I know that do not currently document their budget to do so. It will give you such a better fidelity of understanding of where your numbers are and where your dollars are going. Without that, it's really hard to plan if your money can last. If you don't know your expenses and you don't know what's going out, and I think we all get to a certain point in that when we have a income coming in, our first goal may be to pay bills or put money in savings, which is always some of the highest priority. But then after you pay bills, you kind of have this leftover money. Smart people will put some into savings, and then you just have a tendency to spend the rest without documenting where everything goes. By documenting a budget and tracking your expenses, it will give you a spend rate or a range. And then over time, as you accumulate month after month after month, it will give you an average. So if you have an emergency come up, like putting tires on your truck, or a hot water heater going out, or your air conditioning needs work on, someone crashes into your fence and isn't insured, and you've got to pay a insurance deductible. I mean, all those things, not quite black swan, but unexpected expenses. If you calculate those into your costs over time, then it gives you a better idea of what your spend rate is going to be month to month, so you can plan on it and make sure that your withdrawals from your account after you retire will cover all those things, and you won't have to dip into unnecessarily. Number 4 would be discuss your plans with your partner. I know that there are a few guys on YouTube that talk about how their wives really aren't interested in the financial planning or how they went about planning for withdrawals or the financing part of it. I made sure that Linda was involved not only in the planning up to retirement, but she understood all the different levers and switches that we have in our plan, where our money is, how we're spending it, what our spend rate is, what our budget is, where it's all tracked, where all the account information is. So she's knowledgeable. If anything were to happen to me, that she could step right in and start managing those finances without me. Additionally to that, other than the finance side, is making sure that you're both on the same page as to what you will be doing in retirement. It's not just about them understanding your budget and your spending and your expenses, but how much travel do you plan on doing? Are you going to see your family or her family, his family, cousins, nephews? Are there bucket list things that either one of you want to put down to plan for in a given time frame, to make sure that you go get to see that national park, or that you go to New York City and get to see the Empire State Building, or you get to go on that cruise to Key West that you've always wanted to. So understanding not only the financial aspects of it, but the enjoyment and the time together in retirement that you can spend with your partner. And lastly, number 5 is you have to switch that mindset from fear to excitement in retirement. I know pre-retirement, there was constant worry or anxiety of wondering what retirement was going to be like. And I'm here to tell you that a lot of my anxiety building up to retirement was unfounded. In retirement now, we have so much going on, so many things to put on to-do lists, and fun things to do together, whether that's a weekend trip with our bird dogs to go play, or whether it's a trip to the zoo with our grandson, or an upcoming cruise that we have. those things are so worth the time that we now have to dedicate to them, instead of trying to squeeze them into weekends or extended vacations and worrying about, coming back to work and what things did I miss while I was gone. Retirement is wonderful. I hope all of you in retirement are enjoying it as we are, and I hope all of you that are pre-retirement start understanding that once your numbers are defined and you have a budget put in place that you can live by, you live within your means, being frugal, not overspending, and saving somewhat in retirement by not spending, then you can afford to do the things that you want to do in retirement and enjoy the time that you have. All right, you guys, it's Tuesday, so a little bit of the week left for those of you still working, but tomorrow is another Saturday for us, and we will be painting in the morning and then hitting the grocery store in the afternoon. So you guys have a good rest of your week. 401k Dexters, out.